What if I told you that you'd wasted your money on your DJI RS4 Mini unless you're using the Ronin app to give you full creative control, because there's things you can do in the app that you just can't do with the gimbal alone. Let me show you 3 creative things you can do with this app that's going to expand the possibilities for what you can create with this gimbal. Let's go and fire up the Ronin app and connect to the gimbal, and then tap on the big Create button. This is going to give you access to those creative options. The first thing we're going to look at is manual control using the virtual on-screen joystick. So tap at the top left to open up the virtual joystick. You've got a couple of options here. You've got speed options and smoothness options. You can tap recenter to recenter the gimbal, and then you can use this on-screen joystick to move the gimbal around. Hold down your finger in the middle, move it left and right to pan, and up and down to tilt, and anywhere in between. You can use this slider and slide it left or right to alter the roll. Tap the big red button at the bottom to start recording on the camera, and if I turn this around, there we are. You can use the speed settings to control how fast the gimbal's going to move around in response to the virtual joystick. If I lower these sliders around, see the gimbal, even if I move my finger all the way to the edge, it's moving really slowly now. Or if you max these things out, it gets pretty crazy, so you're going to want to take care with this. Whoa. And you can tap recenter if things get too out of control. Reduce those down to about 20-ish. That gives you a nice, smooth, slow control. So if you want the gimbal to move faster, you can increase these things a bit, but then you can come over to the smoothness settings. And if you increase these smoothness settings, and you can do it for each of the axes here, pan, tilt, and roll. Now when I move things about, if I let go, the gimbal keeps moving around and it comes to that nice, smooth, slow stop. So even though we've increased the speed, we can now get nice, smooth movements. So why might you want to use this virtual joystick? Well, the most obvious one is if you need to control the gimbal remotely. Maybe you're recording something and you've got it set up on a tripod or something on stage, and you need to be able to reframe and start and stop recording. You can do that. But if you want to create repeatable movements, that's where the second awesome creative option comes in. I'm going to tap at the top left to go back to the create screen, and this time we're going to tap on the track option. The track option allows you to add keyframes to the gimbal's movement and then replay those keyframe actions. That means you can program up to 10 points or 10 keyframes in this gimbal. There's a couple of cool things about this. So I'm going to go and just reset this and delete all of the keyframes. So let's say that we wanted this gimbal to be filming the studio and we want it to be able to recreate the movement for some repeatable movement. Say you've got actors walking through the scene or people walking through the scene. Maybe you're filming product B-roll and you want to be able to recreate the shot maybe with different lighting. There's so many creative options. Let me show you how to use it. The little yellow camera on the screen shows you where the gimbal is currently pointing. You can see it's pointing down and to the left. You can tap on the bottom right to open up this on-screen joystick. And unfortunately, this can move a bit fast sometimes. Let's set up a shot where it's going to look down at the start. You can tap plus to add that as a keyframe, and you can see we've got a number 1 now, and that's going to be the start of the movement. Let's say we want to start by panning to the right and then by panning up. I'm using these on-screen joysticks, but it can be quite twitchy and it can be quite difficult to get the camera pointing exactly where you want it. That's where this awesome feature comes in handy. I'm going to tap on the bottom right to turn off the on-screen joystick, and instead I'm going to tap push mode until it turns enabled and turns white. Now, push mode means you can actually move the gimbal around without it fighting you and trying to correct the orientation or the stability. Don't try and push the gimbal around unless you've turned push mode on, because you could damage the motors. Now, with push mode turned on, you can manually adjust the pan axis without the gimbal fighting you, and you can also adjust the tilt axis up and down like this. But don't try and adjust that roll axis, because the gimbal is going to fight you on that and you could damage it. So just manually push the pan and tilt axis. So doing this, it's going to be a lot easier for me to line up that air conditioner unit in the center of the frame. Just going to start recording on my camera so you can see, and I can push this tilt up and down because I've got push mode enabled, and we can adjust the pan, and it's just a lot easier than trying to use that on-screen joystick. Now we're looking at the second point. We can tap the plus symbol, and now we've got 2 waypoints. You can see the number 2 here, and you can see we've got this line between the 1 and 2. The yellow camera is covering up the number 2. Still got push mode enabled. After that, we want to maybe look down at this desk light And then we'll tap plus to add a third keyframe or waypoint. Just going to disable push mode by tapping on it. Now you've set up your keyframes, you can go and tweak them to get the desired effect that you want. Tap on a keyframe, and when you tap on the first one, you can see the movement duration is actually grayed out. And when you tap on any of these keyframes, the camera's going to move to that keyframe that you've already programmed. I'm going to tap on the first one, and then you've got this stay time. Stay time is how long the gimbal is going to stay in that gimbal location or that gimbal direction for that keyframe. So I'm just going to leave this at 2 seconds because that's just going to give us a couple of seconds for the camera to be able to start recording before the movement happens. I'm going to tap on keyframe 2, and now we've got access to the movement duration or stay time. Movement duration is how long it takes to go from the last keyframe to this keyframe. So let's set this up for 5 seconds of movement. Perhaps we want to stay there for 5 seconds, and then keyframe 3, let's make this movement duration really quick. You can see we can make this as low as 1 second, so it's really going to swing around to position 3, and then let's say we're just going to stay at position 3 for 5 seconds. Tap preview, and it's still going to move through all of those keyframes, but you're not previewing those movement times and stay times. Tap the record button at the bottom. It's going to enable recording on the camera and then move through those keyframes. So it's moved to the first keyframe, it's staying there for 2 seconds. Then we've got that 5 seconds was it moved to keyframe number 2, and then it's staying at keyframe number 2 for that stay time, and then it's very quickly moving to keyframe 3 with that 1 second move, and then the movement is finished and the recording has stopped. You can get quick access to the camera settings by tapping this camera icon at the top and then changing the settings if you want to. The third creative option is kind of like a bit of a gimmick in my opinion, but you might find it useful sometimes, and that's another remote control option called Force Mobile, and this makes for good YouTube demos. This lets you move the phone around and control the gimbal. So as before, you can change speed and smoothness. I've got smoothness set to 0, so hopefully this doesn't make you seasick. Tap enable Force Mobile, and then you can just move the phone around, tilt the phone up and down, left and right to control the camera, and you can change the speed if you want to maybe not make it so jerky and seasickness inducing. There you go. And also you can alter the smoothness, which kind of helps at these higher speeds. When I stop moving the phone, the gimbal just comes to a nice hold. Just recenter, and if you want to, you can turn off the tilt by setting this to 0. Now I can control the panning, but I can't control the tilting. But it's probably the roll axis that you're going to want to turn off, just so you at least keep the horizon fairly level. You're going to want to check out this video next if you want to learn even more about the RS4 Mini and how to get the most out of it. I'm Jason Roberts. I've still got Force Mobile enabled. Hopefully I'll see you in this next video. Please subscribe and yeah, bye.